Good morning, crafty friends and fans of the Tilted Brick. This morning I'm coming to you to do a little art journaling in this uniquely creative mixed media art journal book that we have at the Tilted Brick. I've never used this before, but it's very heavy paper. It says it's for mixed media, so we're just going to test it out today. Using some of this paper that I had left over from scrapbook pages I did. This is from the I believe it's called New Beginnings line of Stamperia paper. I just thought it was perfect since we just, the rocket to the moon, the Artemis 2 just went off with 4 astronauts. So I use these colors, these as the inspiration for my colors, and we're just going to see what we can create here today. I have a little water, some paintbrushes, distress sprayer, and I'm going to start by adding color to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm just going to apply it to an acrylic block, spritz it, and then we'll just use this to add color. And I realize I probably need to put something underneath, so I'm going to grab my paper here and put this just like this. That way I don't make a mess. Okay, so this acrylic block that I'm using here does not have a lot of give, so it's not putting as much ink on there as I would like. So I'm going to put that away, and I think I have something else. If not, we'll just do the direct to paper. Yes, here we go. I have some mini gel plates that are a little bit more bendy. So I'm going to try this. Again, I'm going to add my color, some paper. I'm going to add water, and then we'll apply it. Yeah, look at that. That's much better. Now I'm getting a better array of colors. I want to dry this really quick so I can add the next color and to keep them from getting too muddy. If you dry your colors, the distress oxides, then you can get more of a glazing, which is a color on color, as opposed to mud. When you mix, green and brown, you're going to get more brown. So I'm just drying it a little bit. And then I will add another color. This green in the middle is not drying as quickly, so I'm just going to help it with a little paper towel. Okay. Now I'm going to use my next color, which I think I'm going to go Rusty Hinge, because there's a lot of rust in the rocket that I want to use today. So again, we're just loading it up with color. Doesn't look like there's a lot on there, but there is. And then we'll spray it with water. And then I will just place this. I'm going to take it off of that where I want the color to be. And I'm going to pick up this extra here and squish it in some other places, help it dry. No bleed through, so it's doing pretty well. Let's get that on there. Okay, sorry about all the jiggling. Then I do want to use a little bit of this Salvage Patina, get some of that turquoisey color in there. So again, smush it on there. You could use a piece of acetate for this as well. I just happen to have this, and so I'm using it. And I'm going to press it into the different places. All right. So now we're going to let that dry for just a second. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I want to get a brush for some ink blending, so I can add some color to the edges. Now I'm going to take this, just add a little bit of color here to the edges. This layers on really nicely. Now, if I didn't want any color on this side, I should have put tape, but likely I will use the rest of my papers and continue this over. But today we're just testing out this little album to see what we can make and how well it stands up. I'll be doing several techniques over the next couple of weeks to month in this little book, just so we can see how it stands up to different techniques. Because the paper is pretty heavy, and it does say on its packaging that it is a mixed media journal. So mixed media means it should stand up to having, you know, a lot of paper, a lot of ink, a lot of sprays, a lot of moisture on it without buckling too much. So we're just testing it out to see. It's only paper, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Okay, so I've added some color down here. Now I think I might want to do some more splatters. So I'm just gonna squish my ink pad to the surface here, spray it, and then I'm gonna use this paintbrush that I have out and just tap, 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 tapping. You really should try to tap from different directions or turn your project so that you don't have all of your water, paint, whatever droplets you're doing going in the same direction. So you twist your project a little bit. And so there's that. Now again, I want to dry this before I start doing the rest of it. Okay, so I did some scrapbook pages the other day, and here's the leftovers that I had. This was from the 12 by 12 sheet that had the back of the one that had the big tree on it. So if you're looking in the store, this is the back of this sheet. So I'm going to place that on there, and I'll glue that down in a minute. And then this is one of the sheets that had little like ATC sized images, and then the back has something else. So I have all these little ones left over. So I'm just going to use some of these, and then look at this cute little robot. So what I was thinking is using this little rocket ship here, and then I think I'm going to cut this one out. So I'm just going to do a quick fussy cut. I know probably don't want to see me cut, but I'm just going to show you how easy this is to use these little cards on your project. I know sometimes you might need to see what someone else has done before the inspiration hits you. And this is when you're fussy cutting, you want to turn the image, not your scissors. If you're doing a lot of fussy cutting, it's nice to have one that is spring-loaded because that helps. And you want something that it has a nice sharp blade, very sharp tips. This pair is my go-to that I've had for a long, long time. And I love it. Especially for lots of fussy cutting, because it is the springs help your hands to not have to do as much work. And I hope I'm staying enough in the screen for you guys for this. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was getting my old eyes, and so I was getting closer and closer to my project so I could see it. So I'm just going quickly around this image so that I can layer it on. See the nice sharp tip there. Keep going. And doesn't have to be perfect. But if you are fussy cutting something and you have a little bit of, maybe you didn't get as close as you wanted, you can take a little bit of ink, take your image, and then take my blending brush and just go over the edges a little bit, and that'll help get any of that extra color kind of blended in a little bit to the rest of the project there. So now I have this rocket ship. Hold on, I want to leave a little edge there. I'm going to put this here, or maybe the rocket ship needs to be over here so that this guy can sit here like that. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I just want to cut this a little bit closer because I can see another color there at the bottom. Give me a little bit more room. Okay, that looks good. And now I'm just going to use a good glue stick. You just want one that is strong, fast, and gives you good, gives you enough time to get your image glued up before it dries. So I'm going to place this on there. No rhyme or reason, just where I wanted it to go. Then my rocket. Put the rocket. I'm not going to put it down all the way yet because I want to see where I want this guy to be. I think that would be good. So then we'll press that down. Then we're going to add glue. And that right there. And I've still left a little space for if I wanted to add some journal notes. Whoops. Let me add a little bit more glue to that. Okay, so here's our first page in this little album, and as you can see, we had no bleed through to the other side. It's very thick. You can see I can't bend it too much. It's a very thick page, so this is going to be really good for adding inks and sprays too, I believe. I like the way that the colors reacted on it as far as how they sat on the page. So again, this is the Uniquely Creative Art Journal album here at the Tilted Brick. And there's my first page. Let me know what you think, and if you're as excited about this lunar mission as a lot of other people are. Thanks for watching.